She wrote the world's greatest mysteries, but the hardest one to solve was her own. In 1926, Agatha Christie vanished. No body, no trace. Just a crashed car and a cheating husband. 100 years later, we're finally cracking the case of the 11 missing days. Hello and welcome back to the Unifying Lens. Today we are traveling back exactly 1 century to investigate the original Gone Girl. The year is 1926, and honestly, it's a mess. Britain is paralyzed by a general strike. A guy named John Lobey Baird is in a London attic trying to invent television using a hat box and some scissors. Spoiler alert, it works. And amidst all this chaos, we have Agatha Christie. At 36 years old, Agatha is absolutely killing it, professionally at least. She just published The Murder of Roger Ackroyd, which is basically the Sixth Sense of the 1920s. It broke all the rules. It made people furious. It made her famous. But personally, her life is imploding. Earlier this year, her mother, Clara, passed away. Agatha and Clara were incredibly close, codependent even. Agatha falls into a deep depression. She's clearing out the family home, dealing with grief, maybe dealing with what we'd now call burnout. She needs support. She needs a partner. What she has is Archie. Meet Colonel Archibald Christie, World War I flying ace, war hero, and unfortunately a man who famously said he hated illness, death, and trouble, which is a really bad create-a-character build for a husband whose wife is grieving. Archie deals with his wife's depression by spending all his time at the golf course. He loves golf. He is obsessed with golf. But you know what he loves even more than golf? A 25-year-old secretary named Nancy Neal. Nancy is everything Agatha isn't right now. She's fun, she's sporty, she doesn't cry about dead mothers. In August 1926, on Agatha's birthday, because he's classy like that, Archie asks for a divorce. Agatha refuses. She's old school. She believes until death do us part. They try to make it work. It does not work. Fast forward to Friday, December 3rd. Breakfast at the Christie house. Tensions are high. Archie announces that he's leaving for the weekend to go to a house party in Godalming. And guess who's going to be there? Nancy Neal. This is the breaking point. Archie packs his bag and leaves. Agatha is left alone in this big, empty house with their 7-year-old Rosalind. The servants say she was agitated, pacing, distraught. Around 9:45 p.m., Agatha goes upstairs. She kisses Rosalind in night. She goes back downstairs. She writes a letter to her secretary, Carlo, saying she's going to Yorkshire. She grabs a small suitcase. She walks out into the freezing December night. She gets into her beloved Morris Cowley. She drives down the driveway, and Agatha Christie vanishes from the face of the earth. Before we get into the manhunt, I want to hear from you guys. We've got a cheating husband, a grieving wife, and a Friday night disappearance. Based on the setup alone, what's your theory? Option A, she snapped and ran away. Option B, it's a revenge plot to frame Archie. Option C, Archie actually killed her, and we're about to find out this is a cover-up. Drop your vote in the comments right now. Team Fugue or Team Revenge? I'm reading them. Okay, locked in? Let's find the car. Saturday morning, December 4th, a local cowman finds a car abandoned at Newlands Corner in Surrey. It's off the road, nose down in a hedge, hanging precariously over the edge of a chalk pit. The headlights are still burning. The battery is dead. It looks like a crash. The police arrive and they check the inside. They find her coat, they find her clothes, they find her ID, but no Agatha. Now, if this was just a car crash, you'd expect a body or someone walking to a hospital, but the location tells a darker story. Newlands Corner is right next to a place called the Silent Pool. It's a bottomless spring. Legend says King John drowned a woodcutter's daughter there. It's haunted, it's creepy. And the police take one look at the car, one look at the pool, and they think she's in the water. This kicks off the biggest manhunt in British history. We are talking massive. Deputy Chief Constable William Kenward takes charge, and he goes full military. They have 1,000 cops. They have 15,000 volunteers beating the bushes. They drag the silent pool. They send divers into the freezing water. They even use airplanes to search from the sky, which in 1926 is cutting-edge tech. It's like using a satellite grid today. The Home Secretary is calling for updates. The New York Times puts it on the front page. And because this is Britain, the literary Avengers assemble. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, yes, the creator of Sherlock Holmes, decides to help. You're thinking, great, he'll use deduction. Nope. Conan Doyle was a hardcore spiritualist. He takes one of Agatha's gloves and he brings it to a spirit medium. The medium holds the glove and says, "The owner is half dazed and half purposeful. She will be found next Wednesday," which is surprisingly specific. Dorothy L. Sayers, another crime writer, actually goes to the scene to look for clues like a normal person. She finds nothing, but she does use the location for her next book. Writers, man, we never waste a tragedy. Meanwhile, Archie Christie is acting very weird. He tells the police about the letter Agatha left him, but when they ask to see it, he says, "Oh, I burned it." He burned the last letter from his missing wife? He says it was personal. The police are like, "Sir, your wife is missing and you burned the evidence?" The press goes feral. The headline isn't just "missing novelist" anymore, it's "Did the husband do it?" While 15,000 people are poking bushes in Surrey, where is Agatha? Is she dead in the pool? No, she's at a spa, specifically the Swan Hydropathic Hotel in Harrogate, 230 miles away. She arrived by train the day after the crash. She checked into a nice room, but she didn't check in as Agatha Christie. She signed in as Mrs. Teresa Neely. Neely as in Nancy Neely, her husband's mistress. Let's just pause and appreciate the level of pettiness here. She stole the last name of the woman ruining her marriage and used it to check into a luxury hotel while her husband was being investigated for her murder. That is queen energy. And she's not hiding in her room crying. Oh no, Mrs. Neely is having a great time. She's singing with the band, she's playing bridge, she's dancing the Charleston. But here's the creepiest part. Every morning, she sits in the lobby and reads the newspaper that has her face on the front page. Other guests see her reading about the missing novelist. They say, "Gosh, that looks like you, Mrs. Neely." And she just laughs and says, "Oh, I suppose it does." She even places a classified ad in the Times asking for friends and relatives of Teresa Neely to contact her. She is trolling, or she has completely lost her mind. This goes on for 10 days. 10 days of spa treatments while the country panics. So, who cracks the case? Sherlock Holmes? Poirot? The 1,000 cops? No, it's Bob Tappan, a banjo player in the hotel band. He keeps looking at Mrs. Neely. He looks at the paper, he looks at Mrs. Neely, and he thinks, wait a minute. He goes to the police. The police alert Archie. He rushes up to Harrogate. The police set up a sting. They tell Archie to stand in the dining room while Agatha comes in for dinner. They want to see her reaction. She walks in, she sits down, she picks up a paper, she sees Archie. And nothing. She looks at him blankly. Witnesses say she didn't know who he was. Finally, the recognition dawns. They leave the hotel. The press is swarming, and the official explanation is released. Amnesia, a nervous breakdown. She forgot her identity. She genuinely believed she was Teresa Neely from Cape Town. And that brings us to the big question. Was it a medical emergency, or was it a plot? Let's look at the evidence. Theory 1. The Fugue State. Doctors at the time said it was genuine. Trauma, her mom's death, the divorce, caused her mind to snap. She dissociated. That explains why she didn't recognize herself in the papers. It explains the weird alias. Her brain latched on to the name Neely because it was the source of her pain. It's tragic. It's sad. Theory 2, the Gone Girl plot. This is the theory championed by biographer Jared Cade. He argues it was a calculated strike. Think about it. She used the mistress's name to link Archie to the affair publicly. She crashed the car near a death pool to suggest suicide or murder. She timed it to ruin Archie's weekend with Nancy. And the big one, if she had amnesia, how did she manage to navigate the train system from Surrey to London to King's Cross to Harrogate? How did she know to bring enough cash? Cade even suggests she had an accomplice, her friend Nan Watts, who hid her for the first night. The theory is she wanted to scare Archie, but then the search got too big. She realized she couldn't just say, "Just kidding," without going to jail. So she had to fake the amnesia. So, what happened next? Agatha divorced Archie in 1928. He married Nancy Neely, the real one, and Agatha, she got the last laugh. She married Max Mallowan, a handsome archaeologist who was 14 years younger than her. She traveled the world. She wrote Murder on the Orient Express, Death on the Nile. She became the best-selling novelist of all time. But she never spoke about those 11 days again. In her autobiography, she skips the entire disappearance. She writes about the divorce and then says, "So ended my first married life." And that's it. She walled it off. She died 50 years ago this month, in January 1976. She took the secret to her grave. Was it a medical break, or was it the only crime she ever committed? In 2026, we're obsessed with true crime. We track flights. We analyze body cam footage. But Agatha Christie proved 100 years ago that some mysteries are unsolvable. She turned her life into a plot twist, and she refused to write the last chapter. Maybe she knew that the mystery is always better than the solution. Remember, history is just a mystery waiting to be solved.